What we're going to talk about today is planning, consistency, and just overall organization. So this is something that I can share. I'm a freak about. You can ask my husband. I'm like triple type A, like all for like my closet being color coordinated. I mean, my planner is my life. If I ever leave my planner somewhere, we are in danger. So I live by my planner. If it's on my planner, it's happening. If it's not on my planner, don't expect to see me. But that's really important. And so the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is really when I started my business, I learned early on that if I wanted to do this, I needed to discipline my actions, right? So there's a big, big difference between being busy and being productive. You can be busy and you can be frantic, right? You can be moving all around. Being busy is being frantic. Being productive is being focused. Being busy is fueled by perfectionism, while being productive is fueled by purpose. And that's so important. And I want to really paint the picture of this is a big picture thing. And when it comes to being organized, planning, and being consistent, that's just what Angela and Jill just said. You've got to be consistent. You've got to be consistent. So I read this in a book and it was really eye-opening to me. So it will take 1 year. This is from network marketing in general. It will take 1 year to become confident and profitable in network marketing, to know the basics and cover for sure what your expense is. And you will be learning 1 year to cover the cost of your product and like be learning. Wow. It will take 3 years of consistent part-time effort to go full-time. 3 years. This is just average statistics. It will take 5 years of consistent effort, full-time effort. We're full-time now, to become a 6-figure earner. And it will take 7 years of consistent effort to become an expert. So that should give you insight of like, this isn't a 1 month to the top kind of thing. You know, we've got to be consistent. We've got to plant the seed every single day. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about. But the first thing that I wanted to share is planning, organization. First thing is a planner. Raise your hand. I like all of you guys on here that have your screen on because I can see your face. Raise your hand here. I know Michael Roberts has a planner. Who has a planner? Let's see it. Beautiful. So you do. And that's what we need. So in the chat, I just put a link. This is a planner that a lot of us use. It's just been a really great planner for us. It's called the Passion Planner. That's what I have. It's week by week, 30-minute by 30-minute. So, I mean, you can become a master of your minutes, which a lot of us need to do in order to become successful here because we've got lives, we've got busyness going on. So I recommend having a planner. I'm going to talk about some of that today. And I also recommend having a binder. You can buy this from Walmart. And I really recommend the pink sparkles. So when it comes to organization, every minute spent organizing is an hour saved. I mean, I think about just the silly things of like me trying to figure out, huge congratulations to Hayden and Monica these past couple of weeks. I mean, they've been kicking butt. They've been adding team, talking to people. But if I'm not organized with what they have going on, I will spend 30 minutes looking through text messages trying to figure out who the heck, where's my notes from that person, So you have to be organized. 1 minute will save you an hour when you organize. So let's first talk about customers. So how do we stay organized for our customers? So when it comes to building this business, there's 2 tiers to it. We've got customers and we've got team development. I mean, that is our business in a nutshell. So when it comes to customers, every single time that I get a customer, what I do, and I'm going to send you guys all of these links in a second when we get off, but the second that I get a customer, I have in my binder a customer profile sheet. And in here, I have their name, how I know them, notes about them, what product they're on, children's health study, if they're doing that, and what their child's name is. And I have this for all of my customers. I mean, these are customers I've had for years. So I take notes on them. I'm going to send you guys where to find this, where to have that. But I recommend having your planner, having a binder, have all of that in there for your customers, because how special is it when someone that you don't really know reaches out to you and says, "Oh, how was your trip that you went on? You remembered? you remembered my trip? Yeah, I did. But, I wrote it down because I do have to help myself remember, but that allows them to know that you care. So this is what it looks like. And like I said, I will send you guys the link to this, but it allows you to be up to date on them. It also allows you to mention when you talk to them, what are some things that can be happening for them while they take the product. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I like to print out and have in their planner or on my calendar is customer check-in dates. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the company is really great at emailing us saying, hey, your customer's been taking their product for 30 days, reach out to them. I mean, could we ask for more? I don't think so. But just in case I'm not being the best at checking my email, one organization tip that I do, the second that I get a customer, I write down in my planner. So if I got a customer today, I'll write down 4 days from now or 5 days from now to reach out to them and say, hey, just checking in. Did you receive your product okay? So I write that in my planner for that day to remind me to check in with them and make sure they got their product. And then I write in my planner for me to reach out to them. And this is a worksheet that I will send you guys to, basic customer care checklist. So in my planner, I write down what would be their day one, what would be their day 5, what would be their day 15, and I write it in my planner. So like if I were to go to next week, it looks like on the 13th, I have Sarah's been taking the product for 3 months, reach out. I just write it down so I remember when to keep up with them. And everyone has their own system. Some people will just, use these worksheets and look through them every day. But these are really important times to check out to your customer and just do certain things that they tell us, that we can be doing to check in with them. So this is another worksheet that I'll send to you whenever we get off of the Zoom. But those are two really important things, is having that organization of keeping up with your customer. Write down things that are going on with their life. And maybe right now, if you have 2 or 3, it's easy to keep up with them. But I promise you, once you have 25, I'm like, oh my gosh, my brain is scattered. Plus, when you get to where you're doing this at a full-time basis, the amount of people that you're talking to on a daily basis, I can't even remember like the most basic things. So I write everything down. So that is so important. So customer profile sheets, and then making sure that you're checking in with that customer, organizing and planning yourself. The second you get them as a customer, put those days in your planner that you need to check in with them, and maybe even add an arrow if you are maybe 4 months, and an arrow to remind you to put it into the following months. Again, I can train you guys privately on this if you want to hear more, but I'm just giving you guys some really key points. Okay, so I add them to my binder. I've got them in my planner. Check. So also what I will send you guys is just more customer care trainings and just ways to take care of your customers, because that's a really, really powerful topic. Okay, back to organization. So team, business. So we talked about the customer strand, going to the business strand. Every single Sunday night, if you haven't noticed, we do put out a flyer on Voxer. So what I do the second that flyer gets sent out, if maybe someone else sends it out, if I have one of the other leaders send it out that week, is I open my planner and I put those events in my planner. So that's my next organization tip for you, is be in a place where you check Voxer once a day. Maybe in the morning when you have coffee, maybe you do a devotional, or maybe in the evening you sit down and watch TV. I don't know what your life looks like. But when I open up Voxer, I'm either in the car and will screenshot, messages to myself to remind me to put it in my planner when I get home, or I'm in front of my planner, because Voxer is like our work email, and there's events being posted, there's stuff being posted. If I'm not by my planner when I read something, I won't get on it because I'll forget. So when you open Voxer, just have your planner around. I mean, I keep my planner in my purse, you guys, because I'm very intentional about building this business, and I will make it work with my stolen moments and with my crazy seconds. So being around, your planner when you check Voxer, plugging them into your event into your planner the second that they're posted. So, okay, moving on. So planning is another really big thing. So if you have a goal, are y'all good so far? Am I moving too fast? I know I'm moving fast. And if I am, I'm recording it. You can watch it 1,000 times after this. So planning is a really, really important thing. We've all heard you plan to fail or you prepare to fail if you don't plan. You know the quote that I'm talking about. You plan to prepare or you prepare to fail. We've all heard it. But what we also know is a goal without a plan, it's just a wish. I mean, truly, like if you want to make $1,000 a month, but you're doing nothing about it, you're just wishing. If you want to do something, you've got to put a plan in place to make it happen. We've got great promotions for that. We give you a plan, but let's break it down even more. So how do we plan our week? How do we plan this craziness? And the reason that I'm so passionate about this, you guys, when I started Juice Plus, yeah, this is what I do full time now. But when I started Juice Plus, I had 4 jobs. I was in school, I was competing in bodybuilding, and I was like 21. So like I wasn't even fully mature, I don't feel like. I do feel like I was, but y'all know what I mean. So I was busy. I was supporting myself. I mean, I was running around like a crazy person, but I learned how to work a day planner. And because of that, now I have the ability to own my day planner. I choose where I want to go, but it started off by little stolen moments. And I used to plan my day out in literally like 15-minute increments because I had to find a time to plug in my business. So when it comes to my planner, every single weekend, I do this. You know, Patrick knows, like there's got to be a time where I sit down on our little recliner for probably 3 hours, honestly, and just plan my week. Because otherwise, I don't get anything done. I will just like be sad because I have nothing to do. So on my planner, what I do first is I write down everything that's mandatory. So what this used to look like for me was work. And I still coach here and there at the gym. So I write that down. I put those schedules in. Because Juice Plus is my career, I also, every event I am on, you know, I plug those into my planner. So what is mandatory? Mandatory is the first thing you put down. Work, kids' activities, like dance practice, whatever, parties, events, weddings, things like that, where it's like, you're going, you know, that is not a question, like you're going to church. Sometimes I schedule my workout as mandatory because if I'm not working out, I'm treating my body poorly and that kind of bleeds into my whole life. So mandatory is what we put down first. The second thing, plug in the events that we have going on. If you're close to full time here, if you're making, you know, near $1,000 or more, I recommend you get on everything because you've got team. And if they get on and you're not on, that doesn't look good. And of course, you know, we have grace for everyone. We all have lives, but so plug into the events that we have going on, write them on your planner, make sure you're there. And then the third thing is schedule time to work on your business. So I have an exercise that I want you guys to do. So everyone get their phone or some source of calculator out. In your calculator, go ahead and type in the number, like the dollar signs, how much money you would like to make a month with Juice Plus. Maybe you don't have that large of a goal, maybe you do. So let's just put something. I'm going to just put a number that we can all relate to if anyone doesn't have, let's say if anyone doesn't have access to a calculator. So I'm going to just put $2,000, which this was my goal when I first started, was to make $2,000. This is what I needed to survive 3 years ago. So $2,000. So everyone has their number that they want to make in their phone. Okay. So now take that number and divide it by 4. So that's what we wanted to make in a month. This is what we would need to make per week. And again, this is not my number at all. I need a lot more than $2,000 nowadays. So you're plugging that number. So now we've got a number of what we would need per week. So based on Google, the average job, the average American gets paid $24 an hour. So let's just be generous. And let's just say that we were going to get paid $25 an hour. Juice Plus doesn't work like that. I'm just using this as an example. Divide your number by 24, which is $24. So look at that number that came on your phone. My question is for you, are you working that amount of hours a week? Because the way that we just broke that down, if you were to be paid $25 an hour, which you're not, we know, that's the amount of hours that you should be putting in a week. But here's the beautiful thing, because of the way that this business is, that's not true. You know, you don't really have to work that amount of hours because I did my math and I was going to have to be working like 80 hours a week to make the amount of money that I would want to make. So that's the beauty of it. But I put this in realization to be realistic with you guys. Are you even putting in 5 hours a week? Are you even showing up that much? Getting on Zoom, it's good, it's needed, but that's not an income producing activity hour. This isn't going to build you a check. You can get on Zoom every single week, but if you don't take what you learn and go apply it, your check will never grow. So based on what that number just showed you, that the point of me doing that exercise was to give you a reality check. Are you putting in those types of hours? No, of course not. I mean, I doubt anybody is. Maybe you are if you don't have that big of an income goal, which is totally cool. But number 3 of planning your week is schedule your time to do your business. Leellen and I have some big business goals. Guess what? We're going to a coffee shop Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for like 4 hours, which isn't a lot, but it's something where we can hold each other accountable. So what do you have to do to put it on your schedule? So when you put it on your schedule that you're doing Juice Plus, this excludes trainings. Trainings are great, they're needed, but that's not an income producing activity. When are you sitting down and doing a DMO? When are you sitting down and following up with people? When are you sitting down and sending out videos to people? That's what Angela said she just did to grow, is send videos. And I can probably guarantee that she just did it in her stolen moments. But what if you can sit down and prioritize an hour a day? Imagine what can happen to your business. So sitting down, block it off. So if you guys can see for next week, these big lines right here, this is Leellen time, where me and her are going to sit down. And guess what we did yesterday or whatever day that was? We reached out to every single person on our list, not saying anything about Juice Plus, but just starting conversation. How's your year been? What are you looking forward to next year? Guess what? A lot of them, I would like to get healthier. I would like to pay off my debt. Hello, conversation. So, okay. So when you're doing that, you're doing your DMO, you're working on your current business. Who in your business wants to grow? Who in your business is trying to move forward? That's why I scheduled time to go meet with Leellen, because she wants to grow. We can't push you, but those that want to work with them, get on with them, connect them with your sponsors. So almost done here. So the last thing that I want to talk about, and I hope this is helpful for you guys. I'm being super real about it, but it's just real. If you want to build a big business, we're not going to do it by an hour a day. I mean, it's just straight up. And I even say this to myself. I mean, there's been seasons where I'm like, how do you expect to make a 6-figure income putting in 5 hours a week or 10 hours a week or 15 hours a week? No, you've got to make the sacrifice. But here's the beauty of entrepreneurship. The beauty of entrepreneurship is you work right now for the first 5 years like nobody would. Nobody would. First 5 years, work like nobody would. It's going to feel like you're doing so much and getting so little. But then after those 5 years, you get to live your life like nobody would and really work not as much. So that is entrepreneurship. It takes that front loading, it takes that work in the beginning. And then one day, you still work, the day will still work, but you don't have as much, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, moving on, consistency. So in my belief, how do we be consistent? For me, type A person, to be consistent, I need a system. To be consistent, I need like a checklist or something of that sort. So what I want to think about is, this is unfortunate news, guys. Consistency in my mind equals a system. You've got to have a system. How are you measuring that you're being consistent? A bad system will beat a good person every time. Think about that. A bad system will beat a good person every time. So what that means is, if we have a really great person, really high quality person join our business and they're stoked, but maybe their sponsor isn't teaching them how to properly build a business, they're going to get beat. They're not going to have that success because they don't have a system. This is the beautiful thing about Juice Plus is, yes, we do have a franchise. Yes, we are an entrepreneur, but the company has already made a system. They've already made a system, and it's proven that it works because they've got hundreds and hundreds of national marketing directors that did that same system. So we have a system to follow. So a good system can even make a bad person work. It's beautiful. You just have to follow the system. So a good system will shorten the road to the goal. Sometimes we spend so much time like, what should I do? What should I do? Blah, blah, blah. What should I do? Let me go watch this. Let me do that. But if you just did the system, if you just did your DMO, and if you don't know what DMO, message us, we'll show you, we'll send you the training on that. Patrick did an awesome training on that, but it's a daily method of operation. It's what you should be doing every single day to grow this business. A good system will shorten your way to the goal. So if you do that DMO every day, you will hit those promotions, because part of the DMO is reaching out to people. Okay, so trust is built with consistency. So we want to be consistent. We've got to have a system. But once we have that system and we are consistent, we build trust. And what happens when we build trust, guys, if I can shed any light on what this mean to me, when I started Juice Plus, I'm just going to be real with you guys. I had so many haters. Like I had so many haters. I had a girl create an Instagram highlight talking trash about the company that I worked for and the product that I was promoting. And I mean, she was saying really silly things like, go take a vitamin. Well, honey, that's why we take Juice Plus, because we're not taking vitamins. But she just didn't know. She didn't know what she didn't know. I had so much hate. But here's the beautiful thing is those same people, they're not talking about me anymore. They're not smack talking anymore. Instead, those same people that had like talked smack, one of them actually reached out to me just recently and asked for my wisdom on network marketing. Huh, interesting. So when I stay consistent, people want to know. The people that used to like hate on you, if you stay consistent, they're going to start to trust you. They're going to ask you for help. And I've seen that so true in my business is you've got to stick through those hard times. You've got to stay consistent because what people want to see, let's be real, everybody knows someone who started something and did it for 3 days and quit. I mean, everybody did that. I've had people join our business and do that. They weren't consistent. They didn't build trust. They didn't build a business. But if you stay consistent and you stay true to your goals, you stay true to what you want, you stay true to this lifestyle, people will trust you and people will join you. I mean, think about Jill and Angela. Jill worked on Angela for 1 year, but Jill stayed consistent. She stayed true to who she was, which created trust, which now she's got a rock star sales coordinator. So true. And think about a water jug fills 1 drop at a time. So you're not going to build this business in a day. I wish. You guys, when I started, I thought I would be a national marketing director by now. But guess what I've learned? It just takes consistency. And God had things that he had to grow in me in this season before he could promote me to my next season. And that's true to all of you guys. He gives us what we can handle. And we have to have that drop every single day, that drop, that drop, that drop, that drop. And what happens so much when people try to like pour something into a jug, I mean, have y'all ever done that and it spills everywhere? I don't know if it's just me, but I'm a mess maker. It doesn't work like that. Think, drop, think, drop, think, drop. And if you continue to do that, your jug will be full. And not only will it be full, but you'll know the perfect time to where it's not going to overflow and just become a mess. You know how to manage it. So think about that consistency. So what is the consistency? What is the system? 1, it's our DMO, daily method of operations. 2, I posted the other day in our Voxer thread this really cool thing that I made, and I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to wrap things up here in just a second. So I love social media, and unfortunately, the world that we live in right now, social media is really one of our only options. There's not very many events that we can do, but this is a good news. So this is something that I created based on pretty much what the company created for us, but I felt like I wanted it to be a little bit more personal. So if you guys have seen me do social media trainings, I'm really big on like having a brand. So we all have things that are important to us. So this is my social media system. And now that y'all have this, you will know that I'm doing this on my pages. But what you'll see is I have my own brand. So my brand right here looks like faith. Like I talk about faith a lot. Another thing that I talk about is travel. I talk about travel a lot. I love to travel. Another thing I talk about is my crazy husband who decides to create a mustache. So marriage life. And then I talk about just a day in the life, just my life. And so what I already incorporated in here was health and fitness post, because that is our brand. That is Juice Plus. So it's things like sharing a health tip, sharing a workout, sharing a friend story, obviously product or business related, sharing your freedom or flexibility because of Juice Plus. So that's engraved in there. But what I engraved more was your brand. So each day, note, I missed day number 5, my brain. I need to be more organized. Every day you have something to post about. And what this does is it brands you, it creates curiosity and allows people to ask questions. So that's one of my systems. Every single day, I make a social media post. Another one of my systems is I do the DMO. I reach out to people every single day. I talk to people every single day. I follow up every single day. I'm checking box or I'm on the Facebook pages. That's the things that are going to build your business. So have your system. The last system that I want to share is, we call this 5-1. And we used to teach this really well, and not really well, but we always teach it well, but we used to teach it a really lot. Basically, a good goal is 5-1 means every month set a goal for yourself. And again, this is depending on your goal, but we would set the goal for people who wanted to build this business: 5 customers a month, 1 team member. And that might adjust per person. Some people might have more team, a little bit less customers, but whatever works for you. And a lot of people, they might just think maybe 1 customer a month, or maybe 3 customers a month based on your goal. But have a goal, have a plan, and you've got to do that DMO to make it happen. So an insight here in closing up: have a planner, make this be your baby. Like, I almost posted a post the other day talking about, like, if you were to leave the house and your house would burn down, like, what were like 3 things that you would take? One of mine would be my planner. Like, no joke, I would have to take my planner. Have a binder, take care of your customers, make a worksheet for each one of them. I will send you guys all of those worksheets. Know when to check in with your customers. Put that on your planner. Put those events on your planner. You've got a plan to be on. If you don't plan to be on, you won't be on. I know it. I've been there. Making sure that you're super intentional about that. But when it comes to planning your week, put what's mandatory, put the events, and schedule time to do your business. You've got to be consistent. A jug fills one drop at a time. So your systems or your DMO, the social media schedule, and 5-1, 5 customers, 1 team, 1 promotion each month. 5 customers, 1 team, 1 promotion, 1 month. Track yourself, hold yourself accountable. Here's the cool thing about DMO, and this is why Patrick and I want to go travel and do all this stuff. Let's do our DMO, then let's go hike. Let's do our DMO, and then let's go to the ocean. Check, 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 did our DMO. Guess what? I didn't get to do my DMO today. We're not going to have fun. We've got to finish our business. But if you finish it, move on, go do something. And of course, if you have bigger goals, maybe not, but okay. So in closing, guys, you've got to ask for support. If you need help with any of this, ask your team. We're here to help you. But as much as we're here to help you, take responsibility. Take responsibility for your business, you guys. Let's be real. How was 2020 for you? For us, we thrived. We had our biggest months ever, but we worked. Oh my gosh, did we work? We worked so much. What do you want your 2021 to look like? Do you have any debt? Do you have any vacations you want to take? Do you want to buy any presents? Do you have anything that your kids want? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to help people? Do you want to see the people that you know are struggling with health get out of it? Well, you have something to give them, so be intentional. If you don't plan for it, it ain't happening. You've got to plan for it. Own it. Say that this is mine. I'm going to make this happen no matter what. So super excited, super pumped. Who wants to close this out? Nobody. Okay. We'll let Mr. Mustache send us off. Just you want to close this out in prayer, Pat?
Sure.